We are the DFPN. Always question the answers.
No Gimmicks Podcast, and we bring it to you. Every time we turn live, man, you know it's the truth. Every after show, moving down, it's the time to move around. No Gimmicks Podcast is going down. Every night, every time in the ring, this is the time for the No Gimmicks, no, we doing our thing. What's your state of mind? State of mind. Moving down a statement when we take the line. This is exactly wrestling the state design. When you see Stone Cold like me, with the stunner in the world, exactly, man, what we bring. Every night we move like Brock Lesnar, the F5, no gimmicks. We take you to your limit, what's the feeling? When we live in the air, you know we on, it's the time. Guarantee we move, you know how we respond. The state is mine, the state design when we feel it. Moving down, what's the healing? No gimmicks is the feeling.
Yo, 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 what is up? Welcome back to the No Gimmicks here on the DFPN. Guess who's back? The man himself, D Vader, the fabulous one, Frank Dee. Welcome back, my guy. Welcome back.
What's up, man?
The hiatus is over. Let's get it.
Yeah, it was a short one, but you know. So, but it's good to be back on the platform, bro. Like, so much stuff is happening that we're gonna talk about.
Yep.
You know, Raw on Netflix, Dipset beefing, Hot Boys reunited.
Yep. We can talk about it. We can talk
all kind of stuff. But yeah,
all
man.
kind
So what's up with your player?
Man, you know, we do got a lot to talk about. So I'm ready to get into it. It's been a good couple days. So just ready to rock and roll, my guy. Ready to rock and roll. It's a pleasure having you back. You were missed. So
yeah, it's good to be back, bro.
We're gonna kick this shit off with a bang. But we got a good show for you guys. Listen, a lot to talk about. Raw on Netflix, second episode. They kicked off the first one with a bang. I think we should start there. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. All right. WWE World Netflix episode 2 of the Netflix era aired. We got a big debut. They kind of spoiled this shit earlier in the day.
Right. They did.
They released this merch and it was like, well, it's coming. And then when he finally debuted, they called it the worst kept secret. Overall, thoughts on Penta's debut, bro?
I thought Penta's debut was excellent. Just first of all, let's just be honest right now. There is no promotion in the world that has the production values of the WWE. That
Absolutely.
drone shot into the arena, going through the crowd, like even up in the nosebleeds, you are now seen because it went all the way in there. You actually could go back and like pause it if you sit way up there, like, oh, there I am.
Yep.
I'm that little speck right there. You can do that now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just, I don't know. They are just, my God, man. It's just a whole nother level of production that WWE has. Like everybody else is just behind the times, really. It's like you just cannot stop that production. There's just everything looks so crisp, so flawless. I mean, the only thing I can see that they're having still is sounds like they're having some audio issues. I did notice that because when Penta came out there, like people were popping for him, right? But it's like something happened with the audio where it was kind of like muffled or something, or I don't know what happened there, but it took the pop down. But when he got in the ring and he got up there, people were doing it because you saw people wearing the mask, people had the signs. It's Cali, so he gonna get that fucking reaction. Yep. And the match. Listen, before we get on to Penta, let me get the props to Chad Gable because Gable went out there and did his thing, man. Like this dude here, I'm getting Kurt Angle vibes from 2000 Kurt Angle. Like he's literally, and they even acknowledged it last night on the show when they were doing a "You Suck," which is good with the music because it goes with it. they got something there with Chad Gable. Don't ruin it because they got something with him.
Absolutely.
So, but go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I thought he was a good first opponent for Penta.
Absolutely. And you know,
very good opponent.
I think I was telling you this too. Like, so what I got from this was it reminded me of Kurt Angle and Taz from the 2000 Rumble. It's like they needed an opponent for Taz. They brought in Kurt Angle to do it. Same thing here. They needed somebody that could protect Penta. And I don't know if there's a language barrier there or not. I don't know. I'm assuming there must not be very much. But they went out there and they did their thing. And Penta had one of the best showings I've seen, even when he was in AEW. I mean, this is on a whole nother level. And this is no knock. I'm not knocking AEW or anywhere else. But this is a whole different level here when you're in the WWE system, when you're on that TV. He made, listen, Scott Hall would say it all the time, right? Go out there. That whole time you're on that TV, that's your promo, bro. Like, you have to do everything you can. The TV time is precious. Penta did that. He overdid it.
I agree with that
match. I mean, he went back to, like, this dude went back to, this is how you sell. He's like Jacob 5'2" with the selling. He sold so well that people were speculating he was really hurt.
Thought he was really hurt. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah. I noticed that. That was one thing I noticed, that he sold the shit out of everything. And I was like, yeah, he's in the system. He's adapting already.
He adapted very well too.
Yep.
Very well. And I have to think, like, I'm assuming the WWE ring is bigger than the AEW ring. So he went out there and was able to move around like that without any problems and pull off a stellar match in front of his family, sitting ringside, which I think was extra motivation for him.
Yep.
And it's like, you kind of finally, once again, not knocking AEW. This is not a knock. But when you're in the business and you're out there performing and you're going from town to town, promotion to promotion, you finally make it to the big time, as Michael Cole says. You finally made it to WWE. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. So you're going to want to put on the best you can, the best impression. The only thing I think that I don't like, and I think I mentioned this to you before on Messenger, I don't like his music.
Me neither.
I prefer his AEW music, honestly.
Yep.
So
I agree with that too, because I was like, because you're expecting something similar to what he had with AEW, because up to this point, most of everybody's music's been kind of similar. People who've migrated from AEW to WWE, it's been in that ballpark. His was complete left field, and it just caught me off guard.
Yeah, no, it's like, and that's the whole different, like, whole ball of wax there, because Def Rebel, they just put out shit music, and they've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like with the Rumble coming up, it's like, okay, let's see what they do with the Rumble this year, because last year people were coming out, we didn't know who the hell they were, because everybody's music was the same.
That is true.
I don't know.
Like, who the hell is this?
It's like I look at Tama Tonga's music, and it's like, okay, listen to Tama Tonga's music, and then listen to Guerrilla Tactics. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like,
two different worlds, man.
Two different worlds.
Yep.
But on the Penta, I would say it's going to be a 10 out of 10 for me on his debut.
I gave him a 9.5 because, and it was really because of the music. Like, I was like, not really a fan of the music, but everything else, even the promo after, was stellar. Like, if you want to debut and have it mean something, Penta should be the example of how you make a meaningful debut. Especially, and you spoke about the language barrier earlier. His promo, half in Spanish, didn't really give a shit, because you could tell on his face, like, he was just, the moment meant something to him. And I was like, I don't know what, I can understand half of what he's saying. I'm brushing up on my Spanish. I can understand a little bit of what he's saying, and I know you could tell, like, it means something to him. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, and that's what it was. Like, it's genuine emotion to be out there.
Yeah,
like, we know it's a work and all that, and WWE made it very clear that on that video. Like, this, work, shoot, heel, face. Like they completely, put the curtain back, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like because Triple H even said it, man. He's like, people aren't stupid. Like,
Right.
we're not gonna insult your intelligence. They know what it is. So I like that. I like that. The
No, I
like
like
the
that
old
too.
the old gatekeeping shit is like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yeah, with Penta, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 simply because even though the music I didn't like it, other aspects of the presentation I liked. I liked the entrance. Didn't like the music. I like the entrance.
Yes.
And the most important part was I liked the match because it was essentially, dude. It took me back to Nitro.
You're
It
right.
took me back to
You're right.
a Nitro banger before there was the word banger in the business, because that's all you would see when you watch Nitro, and you'd have wrestlers out there like the Guerreros, the Benoits, Malinkos, Jerichos, Juventud Guerreras, Psychosis, La Parkas, El Dandies, Silver Kings, Rey Mysterio.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Billy Kidmans. They were constantly putting on bangers.
Yeah.
So
And
that's what you got here.
speaking of that, he reminded me a lot the way he moved last night of La Parka. Even
Oh
with
yeah.
the get up that he had on, and people said it was him paying tribute to La Parka
Right.
with his gear. But
Yeah.
even the way he moved when he came out, I was like, oh yeah, man, he's reminding me a lot of La Parka. In the ring, he moved a lot like a La Parka would move. And again, I can't say enough good things about it. It was a great debut. I'm
Yeah.
actually really happy for him because that was a
Yeah.
good debut.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But speaking of debuts, and he's the latest in the line of people on the move. We know we looking at Ray Phoenix, but question for you: where do you think right now in the business, where's the grass the greenest?
That's interesting. Honestly, I think the grass is going to be the greenest wherever you can make the most money.
Right, right.
That's what it's going to come down to. Like the hell with the tribalism bullshit. It's all about where am I going to make the most money.
Yep.
Now, if I'm going to make the most money in AEW, then I'm going to go to AEW. But if I can make a good amount of money and have the exposure of the whip, the WWE, okay, then I'll go to WWE. If I can make a good amount of money in TNA, I'll go to TNA. It's all about your own perspective of what you think the grass is greenest. Because
Yes.
some people will say, okay, I'm in WWE, but I can't even get booked on Raw. I can't get booked on SmackDown. I'm over here in catering. So what is the point of me being here? Okay, you know what? Hell with it. What's going on over here at TNA? What's going on over here at AEW? That's how you look at that. That's how I look at where the grass is greener. Because everybody is not getting pushed in WWE. Like
Right.
there are a lot of talents there. They're not doing nothing with them. So I can't say, I mean, yeah, they're doing good. They got the Netflix deal. They on the USA Network for SmackDown. I mean, that's all great. They're selling out shows. Saturday Night's Main Event was a banger too. They got
Yep.
all these good things going on, right? But everybody's not being pushed. That's the problem. So, but you look at
Correct.
AEW, it's like Hurt Syndicate is like, to me, Hurt Syndicate, Ricochet, Swerve. Those are the only things I really care about on that show.
You know what? I'll go as far as saying Will Ospreay.
Oh yeah,
I like Will Ospreay and what he's doing.
yeah,
But again, he's the latest in the line. The Hurt Syndicate, them making that move from WWE to AEW, more exposure for them. I like it. Swerve, arguably one of the biggest stars of 2024, right?
yep.
Caught him on the move. Mercedes Moné, but she seems like she's enjoying herself. You know what I'm saying? So there are moves made from both sides to where people didn't lose a lot. Some gained more than others. In the case of Swerve, Cody, gained a lot on his end, and a string of people. CM Punk, he's in a better situation. A lot of people, Jay Cargill's in. You can argue there. That's a iffy middle ground person, right? But still, the exposure has helped a lot of people on both sides. So, and even in TNA, you get look at guys like Nick Nemeth carrying the company through their first year back as TNA. The houses are going up during his run. People are becoming more stars. You got that whole relationship with WWE and making more stars out of people like Jordan Grace. You know what I'm saying? Who's probably going to pop up in the Royal Rumble. We don't know that. We haven't heard that, but the rumors are afoot. But even then, like, the business itself is creating so many opportunities for people. So that's why I asked the question, where is the grass actually the greenest at? Because people are moving around. People are flourishing.
It's where you make the most money and where you get the best exposure. That's where the grass is greenest. And if you're TNA, most likely they'll say, "Hey, we're gonna fly you in to Indianapolis for the Rumble. You know, you can have a spot in the Rumble."
Right.
That's kind of where it's going with that situation. I mean, and then on top of that, you got New Japan. You know, that's still out there doing their thing too. So, like I said, man, it's perception of however you look at it, where the grass is greener, where the grass lays the best. And like I said before, it all comes down to money. It's where everybody can make the most money.
Yep. Agreed. Speaking of money, the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of big name players coming to play into the Royal Rumble. People have already started declaring who has the best shot right now of winning the Royal Rumble.
Now, let me tell you this. Now, I might get some heat for this. Maybe not. But this Rumble right now is looking like the 92.
Ooh, that's a bold.
It's looking like the 92.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah, because look at the amount of star power that you have in this Royal Rumble match.
Nah, you're right. You're right.
You got the Punks. You got the Rollins. You got McIntyres. You got the Jey Usos. You got the Jimmy Usos. You got the Tamatongas. You're going to have the Jacob Fatus. You're going to have Solo in there. Roman Reigns is going to be in there. You got Sami Zayn in there. Kevin Owens most likely will be there. Or is he facing Cody? No, he probably faced Cody, right? Cody, yeah. I think they're going to wrestle. Okay.
Yeah.
So just remove Kevin Owens and look at all the people I just mentioned. Now go back to that 92 Rumble.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hogan.
That's crazy.
Justice, Piper, Bossman, DiBiase, Bulldog, Flair, Savage, IRS.
That is, yeah. That's crazy.
They're mimicking each other. Of course, the bigger stars were in the 92 Rumble. You know, it's with
it's all Hall of Famer.
Yeah, 92 Rumble will always be the best. But here in 2025, it's stacked. And it's like,
yeah, most definitely.
It's like, where do you go with this? Because you want to see Punk win it. But Seth Rollins has a case of winning it too. So does McIntyre.
Yeah.
So does Roman.
Yep. So does Cena.
I forgot about Cena. Yeah, Cena's in it.
Cena cut that promo, and I was 88% sure that motherfucker was going to win the Rumble. Now, after Monday, I'm like, dude, I have no idea. I
don't know. Something tells me though this all leads to CM Punk. If so, he wants the favor that you talked about.
Yep.
Okay, I think the favor that he's talking about is Paul Heyman as his manager. I think that's what he's talking about.
Is it for one match or permanently?
See, I don't know, because remember, we have the Rumble, but we're forgetting something. the Elimination Chamber.
Oh yeah, because that's the second chance for people who didn't win the Rumble.
And the championships could change hands in the
Oh,
chamber.
you're right. You're right.
So everybody's focusing on the Rumble. I'm focusing on the chamber because
You are right.
I'm kind of wondering if whoever doesn't win it at the chamber could win it at the Rumble. Or excuse me, whoever doesn't win at the Rumble could win at the chamber. You could literally have CM Punk win the Rumble,
Cash in that favor.
and Roman Reigns wins the championship at the chamber, and then them two go at it at WrestleMania.
I wouldn't mind that. Although, in my heart of hearts, so there's another theory floating around that there could be a 31st entrant.
Oh, I've heard that. It could be The Rock.
It could be The Rock. I don't really like that theory because I don't like the fact that he break the Rumble tradition and insert himself, although he absolutely could.
Okay, so let me get this to you right quick, bro. Let me get this to you right quick. All right. So, you guys remember history lesson. We did at one time have a 40-man Royal Rumble match.
We did.
So, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that someone who calls himself the final boss could come out there and spoil the whole damn thing.
That is true.
Entry number 31 and go to WrestleMania. He could do it. The only problem I have with this now is that Rock essentially killed off the final boss when he came back on Netflix. Like, the follow-up to this was terrible. And I know, he took some heat for that shit. The Rock reads social media. He reads the internet to see what people's talking about.
Yeah, he does.
People called him out on that shit. All that stuff he did out there, backstage drinking tequila with Cody, all these different things. Like, this was a horrible follow-up to what are we doing? You came out in October at Bad Blood and you walked off. Okay. Did that mean nothing? Because I'm like, it meant nothing.
I have thoughts on that. I think it meant something. I don't think it was meant for The Rock. I mean, for Cody. Sorry. I don't think it was meant for Cody. I think it was meant for Roman.
Well, there's another speculation out there, real quick.
Go ahead.
Somebody did something. So Roman says that he wants to go out there on the 27th and have them, have them acknowledge him. And it was something to do with the number 7, the 27th, and Rock says he's always 20 steps ahead.
$7.
$7. It's a lot of shit that goes into this. It was like very cryptic. So some people thinking The Rock is not. The Rock is playing a game here. Is what's going on here. Like, he's still the final boss. He's still the heel because we have to find. We have to know who set Solo up to do all this. Like, somebody had to come up and say, okay, I'm giving you the opportunity now. I'm giving you the power to go out there and be the tribal chief. Only one person can do that. The High Chief.
And notice that first Netflix show back is the very first time on any public airing of WWE television they acknowledged that The Rock is indeed the High Chief.
Yeah, we only saw it on that family.
We only saw it on the graphic.
Vegas.
Yep.
But
this is the first time they actually acknowledged it.
Put it in there. Like, kept putting it in there that he legitimately he is a tribe. He is the High Chief.
And if you look at when he put the Ulafala on Roman, I was like, oh yeah. Something's up. He ain't just being nice. Something's up.
No. You're gonna see you could very well see Tribal Chief versus High Chief at WrestleMania.
We very much could.
You could possibly see it at the Elimination Chamber.
Very much.
The Rock could come out there at the Chamber and win the championship.
And then we get Rock Roman. If you're gonna do it, this has to be the year to do it.
I think honestly though, I believe I don't think Gunther is making it to WrestleMania as a world champion.
You don't think so?
No. Mm-mm. I think they got other plans for that title because Cody's not giving his belt up yet. But Gunther, on the other hand, I think they're going to take it off of him for some reason. I think they're going to do that.
You're right, and he could be a casualty of the story.
He could be. I was thinking too that Punk and Gunther could be a good one because they've already done a test with that. It was a test match.
Yep,
and it was pretty good. So,
Cody and Gunther would be a good match. So,
yeah,
very much good shit. There's a lot of good shit.
Yeah, like they got a lot of stuff going on. And
Yeah, a lot.
There's you don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot that's gonna affect WrestleMania this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rumble,
Yeah.
the Rumble is like the biggest confusion because it's so stacked. You don't know who's gonna win it.
Well, everything from this point on, because now they say, "Oh, we're on a road to WrestleMania." Well, we're on it
You've
now.
been there, yeah. You've been there since Survivor
Series.
Series.
Exactly. So the next big test is going to be here in San Antonio with Saturday night's main event.
Yep. Are you going to that?
No.
Oh.
No, fuck no. I mean, what I want to go and hear Obsession. Here's what, honestly, this is what would happen, bro. I'd get there, I would hear Obsession, and I would leave. I just want to hear the song and be there live for the song, and okay, I'm done. Because the tickets is like crazy price now, bro. Like,
I can imagine. Imagine.
Yeah, so I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I get it. I definitely get it. But yeah, man, so much happening with the Rumble. 2 stacked. Just knowing who the final 4 are gonna be is who will be the final 4 people in the ring. Like, even that's the suspense of that is gonna be crazy.
That'd be kind of funny though if they did a swerve and somebody who got eliminated came back and eliminated the final 4, and they kind of rehashed that shit from '96 to the final 4. They say, "Oh, this dude actually won the Rumble, but he didn't actually win because he got eliminated." I can see that. I can see Drew McIntyre being a person that would do some shit like that, where he gets eliminated.
Drew says some real factual shit on Monday.
Mm-hmm. He did.
He said some real, like, he ain't lying.
But you know who else said something?
It's hard to say lying because he ain't.
But you know who else said some factual shit?
Who's that?
I don't know if you caught it or not. You probably did. The promo backstage with Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When Seth told him, he was like, "You're going to help your boy out too, huh?
Or you're going to help yourself."
Yeah.
See, Seth is kind of teetering on the borderline heel.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that people kind of don't want to boo Seth Rollins anymore. Like,
right.
He's still massively over. So why do that? I'm just waiting for the feud between Rollins and McIntyre.
Oh, yeah. Because they going to drop some truth bombs.
Right.
They both going to drop some truth bombs.
Right. So I'm waiting for that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you
could be looking at a whole nother different faction with a Punk, a Rollins, a McIntyre, and an Owens.
All trying to go after
against after the bloodline. Yeah. Yeah. That's what you could look at. I do believe, I kind of do believe we're going to see a Sammy turn. The reason I say this is Kevin Owens said something funny.
What did he say?
He says, we haven't even gotten this. He said this like a couple weeks ago. We ain't even gotten to Sammy yet. That's what he said. So I don't want to talk about Sammy. We haven't even talked about Sammy yet. Like, they're gonna have a conversation about this shit.
Oh, eventually that bridge has
Yeah.
to be crossed. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna probably end up seeing another Sammy Kevin Owens feud.
I like it.
Which has more stakes on it this time.
Yeah.
Because
like
Kevin is like, it's like Roman is this. I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. So Roman is this big baby face now.
Right.
But for the past, 3 years or whatever it was, he was the biggest heel in the company. But now he's the biggest babyface.
But
So
everything
now,
is coming back to haunt him.
That's the story they're telling. Like,
Yes.
he's not trusted. And it's like, I think they're going to establish that this time around, him as a tribal chief, it's not going to be the same as it was the first time around.
Right.
This is a different situation here. Like, Roman's a babyface. Paul Heyman's a babyface. The other bloodline still lingering there. They're not ever going to acknowledge Roman as the tribal chief. It's not going to happen.
So, story there. Solo told Tama Tonga, he's like, once this is passed, you have to acknowledge him. That once Roman wins this, whoever wins it, you acknowledge him.
They're not going to do that, though. You know they're not going to. Because essentially what's going to happen is, if that happens, you have this super bloodline faction where all of them are together. Well, all tribes don't get along. So you kind of have this uneasy alliance because Solos got the loyalty of Jacob, Tama, Tangaloa. That's his dudes.
Right.
But I think with Tangaloa getting hurt, kind of messed some stuff up there with the bloodline. They need another member, and I think they had a hell of a faction there with Bronson Reed involved in that during Survivor Series.
They did. Yeah,
they had a hell of a group there, and it's like that group got dwindled, so they're gonna have to rebuild that shit up. And I don't know where Hikuleo was at.
I keep waiting on him.
Yeah, I thought for sure he would have showed up during Tribal Combat.
Yeah, me too.
So I think we may see The Rock out there for this coronation, acknowledgement ceremony. I think whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen on that Raw on the 27th. That's where it's gonna go down.
Yeah.
So whatever this is, I think all the shit's gonna be revealed. The Rock is the one who set up Solo. They're gonna take the Ulafala from Roman. Watch. That's what's gonna happen.
I think so. They're
gonna take it from him. He's like, you're not the tribal chief. Solo is the tribal. Or hey, you ain't the tribal chief. Jacob is the tribal chief.
Think of how crazy that would be. That would be insane.
Man,
now you got, if you want it, you got to go through Jacob.
I love Jacob Fatu.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think that should be the leader of the bloodline. Because everybody else, fair play to him, but that is the guy that no one wants to walk up to.
Losing has consequences, right?
Fuck yeah, it does. Yeah,
Solo.
it does.
Yep. That's what he said. That's what he said. Losing has consequences. So I'm going to be taking the reins here. You going to get in the back.
Yep. And even Jay said there's a reason why we don't mess with him.
Yeah. If you keep looking at him like that, that was good shit. That was good shit. So what do you think right now? I saw on SmackDown, it was like they're giving Jimmy a push here. Jimmy's reestablishing himself out there as a babyface. Finally got a plan for Jimmy.
Yep, I like it.
He's yeeting. Jimmy was the one who started that yeet shit.
I know.
History.
I know.
It was Jimmy. It wasn't Jay. It was Jimmy.
I know.
So, but they got him out there feuding right now with what's his name is dude who was in NXT. What's his name? Shit. You know what I'm talking about. Black dude.
Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, Carmelo Hayes. Yep.
Yeah.
They got them kind of doing something. So
I like it because it's something for both of them.
yeah.
Also, I don't know what's happening with Trick Williams, but that kind of sets up a Trick Williams debut too. Because he lost to Oberfin. Speaking of Oberfin, we'll talk. That's another episode. Oberfemi's a whole nother episode. But yeah, I think that sets up Trick too.
It could be. It could be. They need a Trick Williams in the roster.
Yeah,
they're lacking. They're
right.
They're lacking.
Right.
So I can see Trick Williams coming over finally to the main roster. Eventually, you're going to see Ethan Page over as well.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, and this is the thing that's once again, welcome to the big time. Ethan Page did a segment with The Rock. That's a big deal.
Big deal. And hung in there.
Yep. And to get that endorsement from The Rock. Because you got to be like this, bro. They got to pick somebody to do the segments with. I want to work with him.
Yep.
We'll do the same.
Who's a good talker? Ethan
Page.
Yep.
Who's a good talker in AEW? Ethan Page.
Yep.
Now, who would I like to see come in? Ricky Starks.
I don't think they're gonna let him out anytime soon, bro. I honestly don't.
Oh, terrible.
I honestly don't. I wish they would. What? There's a couple people, and I think AEW would be better off just releasing people like that. Just let them go, bro. You already seen it with Penta. Just let Ray Phoenix out of his contract. You can't do what they just did with Penta.
What they did on Monday makes everything he did in AEW obsolete. Not knocking. Obsolete. Not knocking.
I agree.
Facts.
That one match, that one debut, that one night meant more than his entire AEW run. And the guy's been there since day one. And that's what it is. That's what it is.
That's what I mean, dude. It like you took something with somebody and you just showed I'm more of an tag team wrestler.
Yeah.
I can go. You went with Chad Gable, Olympic Chad Gable. Well,
just let him go, bro. Because
you see the tweet that Chad Gable that Chad Gable put out about that match.
What did he say?
He said basically that something about that match was like 5-year-old Chad Gable. This is why I fell in love with this, and he put it over.
There you go.
He said, "This is why I do this." Was that match?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all you need to say.
Yep.
Just let these guys, and I get it. You put these guys on the map to be seen. You feel like they're being taken away from you. But fuck, man. Look at this and be happy for these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Be happy for them. Like I'm happy as shit for Penta.
Oh, I am too. And if you're not happy for him, you just fucking hate her.
Yeah, just let these guys go. Let them be happy. WWE is their dream. Let them don't hold them hostage. Let them go. Let them go. Free them. Let them go be happy. Because it don't benefit them. It don't benefit them just running around trying to find something else to do because they're not being used in AEW. Ricky Starks is running around the indies trying to find a spot to perform. You know what I mean? Like that shouldn't be the case.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that should not be the case. You have a guy, the guy has all the talent in the world. For what reason are we not pushing this guy on television? Because here's what's gonna happen. He's gonna go to WWE eventually, whether you like it or you don't like it. That guy's gonna be in WWE. He's gonna be a big star in WWE, whether you like it or you don't like it. It's going to happen. So it's on you if you're gonna do it now or later. Just take the hit. Take the hit, keep moving, bro.
You know, I heard speculation last year that the reason why they're not pushing him is because of Cody. It has to do with Cody. That's what I read. I'm like, if that is the case, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
That is really. I have theories, and I'm going to put this on another show. I have theories that we can discuss about AEW and what's happened since Cody's left AEW.
Yeah. You can see right there. We were talking about this before we started recording. The simple fact that they're on the max.
Yep.
You can see the entire story of the decline of AEW by watching the shit on the max.
Yeah.
Watching 2019 all the way down. You can see the decline, where it happened, how it happened. We can take a deep dive into this shit.
Yeah. That's an episode, bro. That is an episode, but it's clear. It's clear. Like, and if that's the case, anybody that Cody brought into that company, chances are they're probably not that happy. I'm not going to speculate, but if you're a Cody guy and if Ricky Starks, if that's the reason, that's a terrible reason to not, because the guy has all the reason. He has all the talent in the world. All the talent in the world.
Such a shitty fucking deal, bro. Like such bullshit. If that's the case,
that is
like
terrible.
That really pisses me off. That pisses me off because you got this guy sitting on the sidelines. He's one of the best guys you have. Right. And he's sitting on the sidelines for what? Because of if you got personal issues with somebody. You know, there is an episode of the Twilight Zone, that show back in the day. And it's an episode called It's a Good Life. It's like that little kid that could had powers and everybody had to think good thoughts all the time. Okay.
Right.
That's kind of Tony Khan. Tony Khan is little Anthony. So you always have to think good thoughts about Tony. And if you don't think good thoughts about Tony, he's going to banish you to the cornfield. The cornfield is where you are at when he don't want to play with you anymore. Ricky Starks is in the cornfield. Ray Phoenix is in the cornfield.
That sucks. That sucks.
That's what it is. I'm dead ass. It is what it is. Because what I'm seeing here is I'm not seeing a level of maturity where somebody could make good business decisions here and be like, okay, I got this guy here. Look at what they're doing at WWE, and I'm pushing the Death Riders, and I don't even know what the hell they're doing. What is it supposed to be?
Fair point.
Like there was so much good speculation early on about this. I don't know what this is.
But that's the thing with AEW. That's the thing with AEW. Real quick, Mac asked the question. You guys think it would be better for AEW to stop trying to be competition and accept the role of a WWE developmental league? I don't even think they're that, bro. And the thing with AEW is when it started out, it was really meant to be the alternative. That's what it was supposed to be, the alternative to WWE. The thing that happened, and we talked about this before the show, the worst thing that happened to AEW was Vince McMahon leaving WWE.
Yeah,
it's like once that creative got better, it didn't matter anymore. It really didn't matter. And now what WWE was supposed to be, they're making new stars. They're investing more in the stories. They're telling good stories. The creative's good. And oh, by the way, you have people over in AEW that you look at, you identify they have the talent, you get them, you bring them in. That formula has been around forever. It's been, you could look at WWE's track record. They are excellent at that shit. They're excellent at identifying people from opposing companies and bringing them in and making them big stars. It is what it is on that front. The thing with AEW, and Bully Ray said this on Busted Open, the thing with AEW is no one there has the experience to build a star, to make someone a star, to tell a story about a person and make the crowd care about them. It's all about the moves. It's all about how you can wow.
I disagree with that. Because they do have people that can do that. Jeff Jarrett can do that. Edge can do that. Jake the Snake Roberts can do that. It's just the ability to do that is not there. They won't let you do that.
That's exactly what he
there's
said.
no opportunity to do that. They have the people there that can do that. They just don't have the people. They don't have the infrastructure in place for it to be done.
That's
Because
exactly
if you have
what he
one
said.
guy that's doing it, listen, Vince McMahon called the shots, but Vince
Right.
McMahon had all these other people around him
Working for it.
would working exactly.
Yep.
Tony Khan wants to do everything on his own.
Yep.
And that's the problem. And to
That's
go to
exactly
Max-
what he said.
Go to Max's point is WWE's only true competition was WCW.
Well, yeah, true.
That was their only true competition.
True.
Everything else after WCW has been an alternative. They are not competition. I don't give a damn how they try to flip this and all that. They're the nearest competitor by default. The only true competitor that WWE ever had was WCW. That's because they went head to head on Monday. That was a true competition. Head to head Monday night, Nitro versus Raw. That was the competition.
Yep.
You're not competing with someone if you're not on the same network as them. That changed the game.
Same night.
You have to be on the same night competing against them. We saw it in the 80s before the Monday Night War when Clash of Champions, the Clash of Champions went up against WrestleMania 4.
Yep.
Because Vince was fucking with Jim Crockett Promotions. So they said, the hell with you, we're going to go Turner and did all that. They're WCW to this day. 2025, still talking about World Championship Wrestling. Why? Because they were the only ones to ever take it to the WWE. Nobody will
shit out of
ever
them for 83 weeks.
beat the shit out of them. Correct. Nobody will ever get that close to them ever again. Will not happen.
They made sure of
another
that.
stratosphere.
They made sure of that.
Yep. Will never happen.
Damn sure of that.
And that's why I don't look at AEW as competition. I look at them just like I look at TNA. They're the alternative.
Right. And that's why I said that's what they were supposed to be. AEW when AEW started, it was clear. They wanted to make it clear that they were not trying to be the competition. They were trying to be the alternative. Right. Where that changed, where that mindset for them changed, I have no idea. But
it's fan shit.
Yeah. And what it did was separate the fan base.
But, well, that's the whole point. That's what I'm making. Yeah. It wasn't anything. I don't think it was anything in AEW that did it. It was the fans.
Yes, you're right.
It was a tribalism. It was the WWE fans versus AEW fans.
Yep.
That's what it was. So they started this whole thing, the Wednesday Night War. No one ever called it the Wednesday Night War. The fans called it that. And then that went to Tony Khan, and Tony Khan started calling it. It was the fans that started all this bullshit.
Yep.
See the same thing today, and see the same thing today with Star Wars. You got Disney Star Wars versus Star Wars. Same thing.
Yep.
You got old school hip hop versus new school.
Same thing.
Yeah. Same thing. Tribalism is a bitch.
Very much so. But and that's what I try to harp back to is the wrestling fan base ain't big.
Oh fuck no.
It's not big. You don't need
Netflix
the tribalism. Right.
That Netflix number exposed
how small
the number. Yeah. People can say what they want to. The wrestling that rating on Netflix exposed the shit out of how small the business is.
Yep.
If they thought they were going to do some gangbuster number, we know this business has fallen off since the Monday Night Wars, bro.
Yep, it shrunk. Yeah. That number would have been a low number. Would have been considered a low number back then. Mm-hmm. With way less exposure. More people tuned in back then. And that's why I said it's a good number, but it's no number to really gloat off of because you're right. It exposed exactly what the wrestling fan base is. It is not a big fan base.
You just basically that combined number is like what I think they were doing, and I would have to go back and check the ratings numbers. They're doing the numbers they were doing in like the mid 2000s is what that is.
Yeah,
that's all that is. The business hasn't grown, no matter how many times you're selling out because the ticket prices. That's why that's what it is. the ticket prices are crazy to the point where
Great.
I don't want to spend my money for that. It's like I could spend $300-$400 on a bullshit ticket that usually is like $70-$80. It's now $200 or $300. I could do that.
Yep.
Or I could go buy some Vader shit for my costume, or I can go buy some more. I'm gonna choose that.
I could do much more of the shit
Correct.
than buy this ticket.
Yeah, because that's one
that's
night
where
I
I'm
can
at
watch
with it.
shit on TV. Watch it on
Right.
Peacock.
Right. I can go to way more other shit than spend this on one fucking night. Fuck that. And that is the average fan.
Yep.
So yeah. It's a financially way better, but that's why. It's because everything costs way more. But
Yep.
the business itself, the fans, it's not grown.
Yeah, and they're just gouging the prices. They're gouging the prices of this shit is what they're doing.
Yeah.
TKO
Agreed.
Endeavor made it very clear that they were gonna maximize profits. And we have no house shows at all.
Nope. None.
So,
but yeah, But before we get out of here, let's go one more topic. I did want to dive into this one. Let's jump into some TNA stuff really quick because I do want to plug the show coming up on this Sunday here in Dallas.
okay.
So let's jump into TNA. All right. Total Nonstop Action Genesis actually is the 1 year mark of TNA becoming TNA again. In this run, that business has grown again. They started to do the smaller venues. They started selling those out, started scaling back up. More fans are coming to the shows. TNA Genesis is actually going to be a big pay-per-view for them this weekend. I'm actually going to that pay-per-view. Thoughts on what TNA has done this past year and expectations for them this coming year?
I think that eventually this year, unless something changes, they're going to overtake AEW.
I would agree with that.
And that's simply because of that relationship with WWE.
Yep.
And I would be, if I'm a businessman, I would be like, Endeavor should buy the territory. And integrate that territory into the WWE system. That's what I would do. You would have AEW, you have TNA, WWE, and UFC under the same umbrella under TKO. That's what I would do. So the sky is the limit.
Talent, yeah.
They've had JBL come out there and do some stuff with them.
Yeah.
I think that they got a lot of momentum right now. Is what they have.
Oh yeah.
They're going to be out here in San Antonio. They're going to be over here. They're doing some Impact tapings. And I think it's sold out. It's gonna be at the Techport Arena.
Yeah.
Out here, San Antonio. So they're doing their shit. And I think sky is the limit for them. And I think you're gonna probably see a lot of TNA people in the Royal Rumble as well. You might see Dolph Ziggler come back for one night into the Rumble.
That'd be awesome.
You could very well see that. So I think that they've been doing their thing. I was a proponent on this podcast for a long time about them ditching Impact Wrestling name and going back to TNA. And when I finally saw it happen, I was like, that is a great move. They finally did it. And I think as we progress in 2025, I think they're going to grow. I think they have momentum there. They got people showing up to the shows. Like you said, they've scaled back. They go to the smaller venues. They know how to do this. Yes. I think one of the blows they took is when Scott D'Amore was no longer involved.
Right.
That was a huge hit for them. And there's rumors that Scott might be involved in WWE. So
there are. Yeah, you're right about that.
So we don't know though. I think just hearing some of the plans that Scott D'Amore had for TNA and couldn't get the money for it, it's kind of wild. But I think the sky is the limit for them, honestly. I think they're going to continue to do their shit. They're going to continue to be successful out the rest of the year. Genesis is the first pay-per-view of them for the year.
Yep.
And I think that, you're going to be there live.
Yeah.
So you get a first-hand experience, come back here on the podcast and tell us all about it. I think that they're doing a lot of good shit for what I've seen. I don't
Oh yeah,
keep up
most
with it. I don't
definitely.
keep up with it religiously. I don't keep up with a lot of things, religiously. But I think that for what I've seen, the little bit I've seen of the product, I think they're doing a good job.
I think the biggest thing that they did was work with WWE. And out of that, so the main event this Sunday is Nick Nemeth, former Dolph Ziggler, versus Joe Hendry. And Joe Hendry, obviously one of the biggest stars of 2024. He is a TNA talent that was part of that transfer portal pop up in NXT from time to time that made him a bigger star. And you can argue right now him winning the title this Sunday is gonna carry TNA forward. But Nick Nemeth being the guy to do that this whole time actually boded very well for them because he was a WWE guy, had a lot of experience in ring. He made a lot of these guys better. Then you have people like the Hardys who left AEW and went over to TNA and worked with the younger tag teams, and they're building up the tag team division. The Knockouts division has always been great. There's never been a down period for the Knockouts, so there's a lot to look forward to for TNA. But this Genesis pay-per-view, huge. It's going to be a huge deal. So I'm very excited to see where they go with this and what comes out on the other end of it. And you're right, I'm going to be there. I'll bring it back. So
yeah, I think you're probably going to see, like I said before, man, you're going to see a lot of these people in the Rumble.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
More exposure, and the fact that if you remember last night during the commentary, Michael Cole actually mentioned TNA on commentary with Penta's match. They've been doing that.
Yep,
they've been mentioned. Of course, they're not going to mention AEW, but they've been doing that. We're putting over other organizations. So
yeah. And
but Joe Hendry took the promo time, the TV time, that precious TV time, and ran with it.
Oh yeah, the guy's he's got all the charisma in the world. He just needs to win the title, and if he wins that title, it's gonna mean something. And you're right. This year is a really big year for them. I do think you're right about them. They're gonna be the clear number 2 promotion. Just based off the trajectory of what they're doing, I think they will be a clear number 2 promotion by the end of the year.
Well, I'll tell you what. I remember when people said a while ago, well, not a while ago. What am I talking about? This is years ago. People said that ECW took over as number 2 behind WCW. That never happened. That never happened.
No.
But this situation here, let's see where we're at by the end of the year. Let's see where we're at.
It's interesting. They're doing a lot, and even with the loss of Scott D'Amore, they're doing a lot of things right. The exposure that they're getting, and the biggest part of it is that they're capitalizing on their exposure.
It's all, like I was saying earlier, man. Scott Hall said it best. That's a giant commercial.
Yep.
That TV time, that's a giant commercial. When you go out there, you got to make it make sense. That's your commercial. That's your time to sell it to the fans. Penta and Chad Gable knew what the agenda was, and they sold it. Roman and Solo knew what the agenda was, and they sold it. That's how it goes, man. You got the pros, you got everybody else.
Yep. I agree with that. And with that, let's take them to final shots and thoughts. What you got, my brother?
So as we've talked about privately, tinkering with the idea here in 2025, as we continue to grow the DFPN network, was tinkering with the idea of doing a new podcast. And this podcast essentially is talking about cosplay. So people don't know, or you do know, or now you're gonna know. I cosplay as Darth Vader, so I go as Frank Dee Vader. I cosplay as Darth Vader, and I recently submitted to join the 501st Legion. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I kind of want to start a podcast where kind of focus on that. Talk to different cosplayers. Talk about what it takes to be in the 501st. To talk about what it takes to put together a costume, a build. Because I got several things I'm working on. I got Vaders, but there's different Vaders.
I saw
There's
your Kylo
Vader.
Ren. That was
I got a bunch of helmets. Yeah, so I'm building those. So eventually I'm going to be starting up the Kylo Ren process for 501st, which will be later in the year. But there's so many different ones. So I'm kind of looking at that. Start up something different where we talk about cosplaying and doing some of these conventions. Go out there and cosplay some of these conventions, talk to fellow cosplayers, like just to bring that into the fold, because it's a market that no one's really talking about.
Love it.
And there's a lot of cosplayers. Like, there's a lot of people out there that cosplay. I mean, I remember when Mac and
Jen,
they went out there and did their thing. So it's a market that no one's talking about, and I think it would be a good addition to the network. So 2025, Frank Dee, Vader, we gonna be doing some shit here on the DFPN. We listen. Had to take a little hiatus. Life gets in the way, but now Frank Dee is back in the fold, and we're gonna do our shit, and we're gonna do it the best that we can on DFPN, like we always do, 100% real, 100% all the time, and that's the entire network. That's what we do. You know what I mean?
Yep. Love it, bro. I love it.
Yeah,
absolutely love it. So on this front, on the network front, we also don't forget, we have new YouTube channels out. Smoke Pit just launched their YouTube channel. I say our YouTube channel. Me and Mac, we launched the YouTube channel. Episode 157 is up now. We also have segments out. So those channels, we're going to be uploading content clips. So make sure you guys subscribe, like the show, and just tap in. USDN just launched their channel too. So make sure you guys go support them, man. They've been putting in a lot of hard work, and
Jeff's production Jeff's production is about to go through the roof, because you just showed me his setup, what he's got going. So his shit's about to go through the roof, and it's going to be amazing content. And hopefully him and I can do some collaborations. Rob, you're right down the street, bro. We'll do our.
There's no excuse anymore. Rob.
Yeah, we'll do our. Yeah, we talked about that too. So he's still getting settled in, but we do our collab. Yeah, because homeboy likes to barbecue.
I know he's a pit master.
Yeah, so he pit masters. I almost barbecue. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. But yeah, man, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, sharing all the content. Please go and support. Help the people out, man.
Subscribe to the YouTube channels. And make sure when you watch the videos, watch content, listen.
Leave a comment,
leave a thumbs up, because what that does is that puts the DFPN and puts the show into the algorithm. Is what it does. So make sure you go out there and just support your boys, support what your boys and your girls of the DFPN, support what we're trying to do, and that's take over the world.
Hell yeah, man! And please don't forget. So I gotta announce this now. Dr. Awesome EJ, he's working on a new. We're working on a new tabletop RPG. That's coming soon. I saw the beginnings of it and what he's making, and holy shit, bro! Like this thing is about to be. If you like the Fallen Star series, I think this one's about to kill it, bro. Like, he showed us what he's working on. I'm just letting him be, because I know what he's coming out with is about to be gorgeous. So please, Queens of Nerdom, they're still on the network. Subscribe them. They're still on DFPN. Please. Follow these people, follow the DFPN, stay locked in, because I'm telling you, 2025 is about to be amazing across the board. Yeah, it's about to be a good year.
Yeah.
So that's all I got, man. Hit them with your tagline. I
Yeah,
fucked
so-
it up last week. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's the thing. It's cold outside for a pimp. You know what I mean? All right.
Yep.
So always remember, people, help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. And it's very cold in
Yep.
Texas. It's about to
Yes.
get cold in a couple of days. They're talking
Yes.
about snow here in San Antonio on Monday.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. So
Oh.
we'll see if that happens or not. But people, let's try to control the population. Try to get something. We have so many strays out here. It's like crazy. Stray dogs, stray cats that people just dump like a fuck nut. You just dump the animal. Like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying all the time. I took the Bob Barker tagline, and I genuinely mean this. Control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered. But it's like let's work on this together. You feel me?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So other than that, I got nothing else. Long live the Empire.
May the force be with you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man. That's gonna do it for us here on No Gimmicks on the DFPN. Tune in next time. Until then, have fun, enjoy what you want to enjoy, and peace.
And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmicks, gimmicks.